All right, this is Build a Better Business. I'm Kathy Benner, and Sherry Daughter is my co-mod, my co-host with us today. And we have gone through an entire series. We start once a year, and we go through the whole series of creating your value proposition statement, your VPS. That's your promise that you make to your clients. Then we go on talking about storytelling as your marketing. Then in March, serving as your selling. In April, we talk about website design. And then in May, we start talking about putting together our offers to build our business, things that people can buy, because, you know, until somebody buys something, it's just a website. So we want you to have some products available. There she is. There's Shanti. We see her now. And so we want you to have some products available. So we talk about your first level offer, and then we go on the next month. We talk about your, first your opt-in free offer, and then your first level, your second, third, and fourth. Finally, what is your home run offer? And then from there, we start talking about how to market all of that. So you've put together what your promise is to your audience, to your clients. You've put your story together, which is the cornerstone of your business, your storytelling. And so now you're ready to go out and serve your audience with the products that you have created, those different offers. And that can be anything from a digital offer all the way up to, making candles and selling actual tangible products on a website. So it's the full gamut. It's whatever you want your business to be. But because I am a passive income coach, I'm always going to be talking about a business that you can run from your computer, because I want you to be able to run your business from anywhere in the world. That way you're not tied to a brick and mortar place. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I had beauty salons for 25 years. I had 5 of them actually, and all tangible locations. And so it's great business. But being a passive income coach, even if you have a tangible product and a brick and mortar location, I want to show you how you can step back at some point and let that business run from your computer. So even in the salon business, I still own all of the 5 buildings, but I now am just the landlord. I actually gave the business part of the salon business over to each building. I gave one over to a stylist there that wanted to be an owner. And so now he or she owned the actual business of cosmetology in that building, but I still own the building. So I've now become the landlord, and it has become totally passive for me, because now I just collect the rental income as my retirement income. And so I want to show everyone how to create a passive income business so that this can take you right on through retirement. It can take you right on through all of the things that you want to do for your life, whether you want to travel or whether you just want to be on the beach every day. So it's whatever freestyle living means to you. To me, it means travel, but it's whatever it means to you. And that's where we're trying to get you to. So now that we've talked about all those things over the last few months, today we're going to talk about marketing. And so today in the Build a Better Business, we're going to talk about the full picture of marketing. But there's so many different components to marketing. Like you can have a blog, for example, and as you're blogging, you can point folks back to your business, your online business. And so as I blog, I can blog about real estate, and then I can point them back to, of course, my rentals. So that's one way that I can market that tangible business by doing blogging. So there's a whole course on blogging is my whole point. So we can talk about it here. And as a matter of fact, the month of October here is going to be all about blogging. But if you want to dive deeper into blogging, we now have added a whole separate course about blogging. Another way to advertise could be putting together a mastermind or a 5-day challenge or a master class, any of those. And again, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about that some today with Sherry. But if you want to dive deeper, we have an entire separate course all about creating that 5-session masterclass, and you can actually take a turn facilitating one to kind of practice on us before you actually do one with your actual client base. And then we talk about podcasting. And again, there's a whole separate course on podcasting. And then we talk about speaking. And then there's a whole separate section on speaking as well. So those are all the different ways that you can market once you put together your business. So you can go out and do some public speaking and point back to what you're doing. You can do some podcasting and point back to what you're doing, the 5-day challenges, master classes, masterminds, and point back, the blogging. And then of course, there's all the social media. And the social media, the key phrase to advertising on social media is consistency. You have to just kind of have a presence there, because for all of us that are on social media, you get it. The thread keeps going, the thread keeps moving, and whatever you post disappears down that thread, and out of sight, out of mind. So you've got to post again, and then you've got to post again, and then you've got to post again. And so get into a systematic calendar, if you will, on posting. Elise just dropped in. We're going to promote her over so we can see her. So anyway, make sure as you're doing your social media, whatever lanes you choose, and you can choose a bunch of them. I mean, of course, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, then there's Twitter, there's YouTube, and my YouTube kind of goes along with my podcasting, because when I do a podcast, I put it also on YouTube, so that automatically I can kind of duplicate some of my content. And kind of repurpose it. So I'm not having to create something for each of those channels. I can create one thing and repurpose it across several channels. So I want to start off, and I haven't seen Elise. Elise, if you get a little thing on your computer to click to come on over, please feel free to do that. I sent you an invite to move over so that we can see you. If you're at a place where you just need to listen in this morning, we get that as well. So that's up to you if you want to come on over. So there's 4 of us on the call this morning. So the first thing that I want to do is, Sherry, are you familiar with Canva?
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because you do a lot of your stuff on Canvas. Shanti, are you familiar with Canva? Okay. The first thing I want to do, and I kind of want to briefly look at it. This is a Canva account, and I have Jennifer, who is my daughter, who is also my admin assistant that helps me out. I told her, and see, here's my team. And so Jennifer's on my team. So you can create a Canva account, and see here, I can actually go to my personal account, and it switches over to everything I've created. So this is everything that I have created. And if I want to look at all of my templates, I can click on that. It's trying to load. I got too many windows open. So if I look at my templates, here is, well, that's all templates. Let's go back to the home. And let's click on my projects and see if it'll come up. I wanted to show you some of the things that I've made. So these are some of the ones that I have created already. When I have a speaker, I give them their own little Canva, and you can just click on a template that you like, a color that you like, and create. And here's different ones that I have created. And as I click through these, you can see here's tons and tons and tons. And every time I have a speaker, I actually put them on a little Canva, because this makes it easy. I don't know if you've ever tried to post something in Facebook and your picture didn't quite fit. If you tried to make a header, well, you can actually do your cover header right here in Canva. And once you create something, you can make it whatever size you need it to be. And so Jennifer went in, and I'm going to click back over to hers. And I told her, I said, make me some blank templates that I can just pop some conversation into. And that way I don't have to create all of that. And so here is some templates that she's made. But when I look, I want to get to her folders. What she did for me is, in my business, I have several lanes. I have Build a Better Business. I have the Happy House Hunters, the Landlord Ladies, the Newbie Bloggers. These are all my different lanes. She created these templates in the colors that I was using in each of these lanes to keep my branding the same. So Jennifer simply went in, and under Build a Better Business, which is what we are today, I can look here, and these are the colors that she picked to stick with my actual branding. And then when I click on the items, see, she has actually created these, and all I have to do is add the text. So I can make it say anything I want, and I don't have to stop and go, oh, what graphic am I going to use? What color do I need? And it speeds up the process. So she simply made 15 of these. And so now I can just go in and click one, and then I can edit it. And so once I edit this, see, I can just put in whatever I want it to say in here. She's already got the kathybinner.com on there, and I can just add pictures, elements, uploads, text messages, anything that I want to add. And we're not going to, this is not a Canva class, so we're not going to get into how to create one. I just want to introduce you to the fact that Canva is there. It is available. It is easy once you get in there and play around with it. And it's a great way to post across your social media. And so I'm going to stop sharing there for just a moment and say, oh, Elise said she's just listening in this morning. So Sherry, any comments about Canva, and how are you using Canva?
Well, one of the thing about Canva and Teams is that is a paid level of Canva. And so if you're going to just use something simple, you are not able to change the sizes unless you have a paid account. So keep that in mind.
I didn't know that. On a free account, you can't change sizes.
No, you can't change sizes.
Okay.
Keep that in mind, that if you run into problems and something doesn't let you do, that's part of it. And if you look at an image on the left and an element and it says pro, you're going to have to pay a couple bucks for it if you do not have pro level. So just keep that in mind. Now, to answer your second question, how am I using it? I am using it to create PowerPoints right now.
Okay.
I just completed a 5-day challenge. And with that 5-day challenge, I had a general admission plus a VIP. So for every day, I ended up making a PowerPoint, a workbook, a VIP PowerPoint, and a VIP workbook. So I had 4 items for every day that I created, and every one of the slide decks for the PowerPoint was at least 30 slides.
And you did all of that on Canva?
All of it on Canva. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that way your branding is across the board, because you're using the same graphics. And so it all matches, looks very professional, looks very published. Yes.
Yes. And one of the things I own PowerPoint because I use Microsoft, and I just do not like my options in PowerPoint. And I absolutely love the options and the variety that you get to use going into Canva. There's many more images that are illustrations. And that's one thing I have converted a lot of my things from actual images, like photographic images, to illustrations. Unless if there's a reason for it to be an image. So I still go back in and use PowerPoint every once in a while to do something, but I will pull a lot of stuff over. Now, also, I have the glorious grace of having a son who absolutely loves Adobe. And so we also have Adobe products here at the house. So I can do about anything that is necessary. And one thing is, there's an Adobe font that I use in my logo that I cannot put on Canva. So every once in a while, one of the little things is there might be a font that might be an Adobe font or a Microsoft font or a Google font. And some of them don't filter into Canva, or there might be something in Canva that doesn't filter out. So if you've got a font that you love, you got to make sure that you know where you're going to be able to use it.
And again, I'm a firm believer that getting out there is more important than it being perfect. And so if you have to change a font because one doesn't carry through, that's okay. Because getting your material and getting your message out is more important than, because most people won't even notice that difference.
Then we have my son who notices every nuance.
Everything. I get it. I get that. But that's because he's into that. Yeah. Because your average audience would not notice. Yeah.
No. So there was some, there are different things about it. In in Canva too, if you pick some images, the way that they are created, you can change colors to help with your branding. So for instance, one of the images that I used recently was the image of a clipboard. And the image of the clipboard, the way Canva works is there's a little indicator that says whether you can change colors and stuff. I was able to click, 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 and automatically change the colors to be the same as my brand colors. So that's one thing that I like about it. When I was using icons in PowerPoint, you had to change everything to one color. So this was giving me balance of different colors.
So again, it goes true with your branding. Sherry, do you want to share your screen and show us a couple of examples of where you've used Canva and something you've created, maybe that you're like really proud of?
Oh, thank you. Let me open Canva here first, and then I'll share my screen. Let me see which one I, where I have so much in Canva, it's a matter of trying to find it. There we go. So I'm going to go back here and share screen. It's still disabled.
Let me come over here. There you go.
Look at that power for palmar crease in your hand, Shanti. Sorry, I am.
For those that are, yeah, for those that were listening in, she was getting herself, I think, a cup of coffee, and we saw the palm of her hand. So, okay, Sherry, go ahead.
All right. Can you see?
Yes,
my Canva screen? Okay.
I can. Yes, I love it.
All right. So one of the things, like I was talking about elements. And if you pick something like right here, there's graphics. So you can like see all of the graphics, and they have like pages and pages and pages and pages.
Pages, yes.
Of graphics. But suppose I wanted to use this little girl. If I click on this little girl, it also gives me other images down here of things that the girl, I could change it. So let me go and get rid of it because I just don't want it to stay there.
Right.
But so anyway, this right here is one image, and I didn't like it on the entire screen. So I kind of turned it sideways and I duplicated it. So there's two things on here. Originally it was this one right there that you can see, and it's because it's in the background, it doesn't show up, but it was this that I just blew it up
and made yourself a background. I love it.
And I faded it. So another thing that you can do is, if you don't like the intensity, you can make it more transparent, and then it lightens it up. So this is my logo up here at the top. And then this is my main overall logo. So I had the little icon that goes with it, and then the full one. So that was available. Then I found this one, and here I used an image because I was actually talking about a young man that I know, although this was not that image. Here I do have images, but it's actually talking about me. Okay. So that's
those are your actual pictures that you uploaded into Canva.
So right there is me. Right there is me. Right there is me. And then this is the new addition to the house, and that's Mr. Mercury.
I love it. And your branding colors across the bottom, everything just matches.
Yep. So there's some words. Now, with a PowerPoint, you don't want to have too many words on the page, but this in particular, I had to put there. But then this was that one color, and I wanted to highlight the different sections of the brain. So I just took another image, this oval,
Okay.
And I put it over the spot that I wanted to highlight on the brain and made them the 4 different colors to represent the 4 different lobes of the brain.
Okay. So you kind of created your own little version there of the same graphic.
Yes, I did. And then this is just another one that I found on there. And
Now
then,
you have the pro version, am I right?
yeah, you cannot make a PowerPoint on free.
Okay, so I've got the pro version as well, and I've kind of forgotten what came with the free and what comes with the pro.
Yeah. And then I had to like reference where I found this one. I needed to talk about some sleep things, and I know that Fitbit has a really good app thing, and there was actually a copy of the picture there. And then the other thing that I did, and it's hold on, here is they also, you can make tables. So that's also under elements. You can make tables in here. And so I created this table and I put images, added images in. Now these 4 images are something that I've created. Now, if I get this really large, go up here and move over a little bit. Nope, I want to move this over. How do
The bar is right under glitch.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. If you look at my 3 dots on my crown, this one in the center has a hole in the middle. Okay. We've taken it, we've pulled that particular thing and we've made bullet dots.
Okay.
So that's what these are. And then these were just images that we utilized from over here in Canva and just changed the color to meet the branding. The other thing that you can do is if you go and you have a QR code, which I know, Kathy, you do.
Yeah.
I'm presenting online. A lot of people are watching on their desktop. I say, hey, pick up your phone, hover your phone over the QR code, and then the call to action is to join the community. So I have several QR codes that I have uploaded into my Canva. So I put a picture in the center so I know which one goes with which, because one of the things
Very
that
nice.
upload
Yeah,
doesn't
you
let
wouldn't know which
know.
one.
Yeah. Now you get to meet the real Mercury. Sorry.
Your assistant.
My office manager. So the other new thing that has happened in my life is a podcast, and I used Canva to create this image, which is my podcast
Cover.
Thank you.
Okay.
And then I had another QR code, so that one I am probably not going to use again. So that one ended up I didn't put a center to it. So yeah, so those are some of the things. Uploads. So anything that I am taking from anywhere else is all going in here. And then there's another section down here, it's logos. So all of my logos that I use repeatedly that are my branding are all here.
Very nice.
And you can add your own folders in here as well. But there's also photos that are uploaded from like places like Unsplash and Pixabay. And then you can have different styles that you prefer if you want to create your own branding. They also have backgrounds.
But there's tons of stuff that's already in the Canva that you can use. So don't feel like you have to be real creative and create tons and tons and tons of new stuff. I'm a firm believer because I'm always playing beat the clock because I run a bed and breakfast, and then I'm doing the academy, and you know how it goes. And then of course I want to get out and walk or hike or bike. And so I just want to jump in and do something fast because life gets busy. And oftentimes I can find what I want right in the Canva library already. And I don't have to get too creative, but it is fun to create.
Yep. So this was a chart. So right here, I figured I could just add it because I knew I had this extra page. I mean, if we had item 1, that was Kathy. Whoops, I don't type well. Item 2
You're good.
is Sherry. Item 3 is Shanti. And then we had these numbers that we had to put in here. And then, I mean, we can clear data, but we can also then come in here and can see that you can have different colors. You can change the color of it. So I just wanted to let you know that, you can create your own thing. I was trying to figure out where I've not used their stuff, show labels, show grids. I don't know why it's not showing up. But
is there, no, it should show up, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. But you can make your own charts and you can do some fancy changes. So just so that Canva is crazy. So what I used this for was I created the PowerPoint, and then I had prepared this 5-day challenge. So what I had to do as far as marketing goes is I had to market it. So I created a sales page, and on my sales page, I was able then, of course, then to use a place to check out. And on the first night of the 5-day challenge, people were invited to a Zoom room. Every night of the 5-day challenge, it was the same room. Now, I upgraded to webinar, like is here today. So I had a couple panelists that I had brought up, but everybody else was a regular, just a guest in the room. And I could see the attendees, but not everybody, unless they were panelists, could see them. So we did this presentation, and then you saw at the very end there, up to grade VIP, I was encouraging people to join the next level. And that was a meeting room in Zoom where we talked for another hour about what we had just learned. So it was kind of that reinforcement of, hey, I got this question about it. So the goal was to get people started in my community. And so that was like last week. So it's a month as of next week. Next week is the first time I'm actually going to be starting to use my brand new community. And I have 2 events scheduled next week, one on Monday night and one on Tuesday night. And then from there, it's getting used to the cycle of new education that's going to be going on in there. So every month I'm going to run a masterclass. So it's new information. They can join a course that's already embedded in there. So the whole purpose of the 5-day challenge was get people to join the community. From there, to learn more information about my topic, which is
the whole point, just to sum up what Sherry is saying, is that she is developing a community along with all of her products and services to build those relationships. Because what happens at the end of the day is folks will be willing to give you their money if they know, like, and trust you. And the only way for folks to get to know, like, and trust you is for you to show up somewhere where they get to see you, where they get to know what you're about and what you think and what you believe. And so that's why you have to start putting yourself out there. And that's the scary part. But when you start marketing across all of the different social media and start branding, people start to recognize you. And that's where you begin with building those relationships. They start to recognize what you stand for. And once they recognize that, your tribe will find you. Your tribe, yeah, Elise says super scary. That's where she gets stuck. She just needs to post. But yes, Elise, I get it. You have to actually decide how you want to show up to your audience, and then you have to consistently show up there. Now, that's the tough part, because we always keep asking ourselves, and the age-old question, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, So do you create all your products and services and then you start showing up, or do you start showing up as you're creating all your products and services? I'm here to tell you that you need to show up and then start creating all your products and services, because you don't know what direction you really want to go. You will grow into who it is that you're going to be. So more importantly, at the end of the day, and Sherry, I'm sure, is going to affirm this for me. When you start, you are a certain person, and you start down that path of putting yourself out there to your public, you end up a different person at the other end. You become someone different at the other end than who you were when you started. And that's a good thing, because as you grow into that person that you want to be, your tribe automatically comes along and follows right along with you and grows right along with you in that relationship. So Elise, don't be afraid. Yeah, don't be afraid to jump in there and start putting yourself out there, because you will become a different person, and that's okay. You'll become who it is that you really want to be. Sherry, go ahead.
So sorry I interrupted you. So Shantae and Elise, this is my suggestion to you, is if you already have something that you have done, you've got blog posts, you have anything that you have written in the past, my suggestion is that you kind of go back to that information and you look at it really closely. So I want to share with you what I did back in December. Now, I'm already published. I have a book that was published in 2019. And then pandemic hit, and my book is about school system, something in the school system. So it's been an absolutely crazy couple of years. So I'm going to hit share screen again. So what I did back in December was I actually went through and I started on chapter 1, and I went, okay, what is on page 1 of that book? And I started listing out Monday through Friday the topic that I was going to talk about. So I did some pre-planning based on what content was in my book. Now, I don't want to keep it up there real long, because I just wanted to give you a thought process of things to do. There are many ways to create a content calendar. Some people create a content calendar where every Monday is a quote, every Tuesday they'll use a catchy 2-phrase idiom where it's something that begins with an M and then something Monday. So Mastermind Monday would be like an idea. Techie Tuesday is another one that you might do. So something that relates to that. And then go through and create some ideas. Kathy has the 30 days where she's kind of does the 30 days and has a plethora of things to pick from based in her calendar. I did it from a different approach. I already had a published book. And now I'm working on have the podcast. So I am taking the podcast episodes and I'm breaking them down and creating content out of my podcast episodes.
And the point there, and this is a great point, is to repurpose your content as much as possible. You don't have to reinvent the wheel each day to do your marketing. You want to repurpose your content. Now, for me,
and as a matter of fact, that's the best thing to do, because if you repurpose the same thing over and over again, the people aren't going to remember what you posted 3 months ago. So
right.
even if you just create 90 days and then start 90 days over again and do the exact same post, unless there was time sensitive content, they don't remember it anyway.
Yes. Because again, remember that thread keeps going down and then you post again, and that thread goes down and you post again and that thread goes down. So every 90 days you can repeat the exact same calendar of post. So you only need 90 days worth. You don't need years worth of post. Yeah, you just need 90 days worth of posting in your calendar. Now, for me, and just to go along with what Sherry is saying, to repurpose content, because I have the Build a Better Business, I've got the bloggers group, I have the writers group, I have the real estate group. I have free meetups once a week for each one of those groups. So I post that week to correspond with the free meetup that's coming. Does that make sense? So like, for example, today is my Build a Better Business free meetup. So this week I was posting about building a better business because that was the free meetup that was coming up. So if somebody then got engaged in my post and was like, hey, this sounds interesting to me, I can say, join our free meetup on Friday, because I posted leading up to that free meetup. Okay. And so you get the idea. And so I'm just kind of repurposing content by doing that. So when I look at my actual calendar and I look at next Friday, my next Friday is Connections Over Coffee, Our Time to Rise, which is all about nonprofits. So coming up this week, I'll do posting about nonprofits leading up to that free meetup on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And so that way my calendar is kind of already set. I don't even have to, if I'm out traveling, I don't have to even go look at a physical paper of what I have spelled out. I just look and see what my free meetup is on Friday. And then I can kind of just lean into it. So if I have, somebody that I'm in conversation with on Facebook or on Instagram or on LinkedIn, and we're having, and again, it's about building relationships. And so as those conversations are happening and they have a question like, wow, how do you start a nonprofit? Well, I might make a post then the very next day, since that question came up, on join us on Friday. We're going to be talking about how to start a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I may have not had that planned until I had that conversation. So that's why I'm saying you've got to start. Just start first and then let your business grow into where your tribe needs it to go. Because sometimes you don't even know what questions to answer because you haven't put yourself out there yet. You keep thinking, I wonder what I should post. I wonder what you've got to get out there and start having those conversations so you know where your audience is. You need to enter the conversation in their minds instead of making them enter the conversation in yours. And so that's why you've got to put yourself out there. So does that help? Elise, does that help you decide you're going to jump out there? Shanti, question?
Yes. So can you tell me the difference between an event and a master class?
Well, it's all kind of interchangeable these days. So it's whatever you want it to be. But let me try to explain that. You can actually go and look up the definitions of each of those, what a mastermind is and a master class and all of that, and definitely know the difference between being a moderator or being a facilitator. If you're a moderator, you get to put your opinion in as well, and then you kind of facilitate the rest of the group around the topic that you've introduced. If you're strictly a facilitator, then you're not to put your opinion in at all. You're just facilitating a conversation. So we all oftentimes say we're facilitating, but when you're in probably the lane that I'm in or in the lane that Sherry is in, we're actually moderating because we're bringing the topics to the table and we're putting our opinion in. And so what we're doing then is we're trying to generate the conversation around that topic that we've already brought to the table. So once you determine that and you determine your topic, then it's however you want to present that topic. If you just want to do an event, I can call this meetup, my free meetup once a month on Build a Better Business is my event. But if I wanted to actually do a full teaching on something where I wasn't bringing the audience in, let's say I left everyone over here in the attendee section and didn't bring them up to actually share in conversation, and I just wanted to teach that entire time, I might call that a master class because I'm teaching a particular topic. And at the end of the topic, I'm going to put out an offer for folks that want to dive deeper. And oftentimes, a deeper dive could turn into a mastermind. And a mastermind is where you want everyone to contribute equally, but you're still moderating because you're moderating on the same topic. And so let's see if I could come up with an example. Okay, here's an example. I have a lane of real estate, and that's probably my biggest lane. And I work with a lot of investors. And so I would have a free class, and we're talking about once a month, we pick a topic, and I have 6. And because I'm moderating, I bring the topic. So one month we talk about finding the real estate. Then we talk about funding the real estate. Now you'll see where there's a journey here. You have to find it first. Once you find what you want to buy, then you have to figure out how you're going to fund it, how you're going to buy it. Then we go on to fixing it. So now, you got to fix whatever's wrong with it, new furnace, new roof, whatever. And now you have to decide, are you going to flip it? Meaning, are you going to just fix it and put it back out on the market? Or are you going to fill it? Are you going to hold it, buy and hold and put a renter in there? And then finally, what is your freedom number? How many of those do you have to do that makes working a regular job optional? And so those are my topics. So I would have a free class and then somebody's like, oh my gosh, I love all of these topics. I want to dive deeper. So now at the end of my free class, I make them an offer to join a mastermind. So now on the mastermind, they get to come in and there might be 10 of us on this mastermind and we all get to contribute equally. Now I'm still moderating because I picked the topic. So let's say for a particular month, our topic is finding that real estate. So at that point, everyone would join in with how they find real estate, the best things that work for them. And then I also get to offer how I find the best deals for me. And everyone gets a turn because we're doing a mastermind, because that's where I learn as much as my attendees learn, because somebody might have an option on how they find real estate that I had never tried before. And I might learn as much out of that mastermind as the other members of the mastermind. And so that's where you can turn that event into a mastermind. Now, the way I monetize that is my masterminds are all membership fees. They're all a membership site at $25 a month. And then of course, part of the marketing is that anyone that wants to join one of my masterminds can choose 2 masterminds for the same $25. And so that way they get, and if they're interested in real estate, they're going to pick a couple in that real estate lane. If they're interested in building a better business, they're going to pick a couple in that building a better business line. Now, some people like Shanti might be in build a better business and in the real estate because she's interested in 2 different lanes. And that's okay. That's okay. I get that. But the point is, is that you are building your tribe, and you're building your tribe with like-minded folks, the folks that you want to be surrounded by. So now once I get into that mastermind and people then start having questions to the rest of the mastermind, I now know what I need to identify in my next course material. And for example, and I'll use the same example, we were in a mastermind about real estate and one of the gals said, I want to learn more about syndications. Is that a good place to invest? I didn't know anything about syndications. So guess what? I needed to enter the conversation in her mind instead of making her enter the one in mine. I could say, well, I don't know anything about that, sorry. But what I said to myself was, Kathy, you need to go explore syndications. So I did that. I joined one so I could learn how it worked. I then wrote an entire module for my Happy House Hunters course on investing through syndications, because that was a question my audience had. So now my course is even better because now I'm adding different modules that I hadn't even thought of. And see, if you wait, and this goes back to Elisa's point early on about putting yourself out there, if you wait, what are you going to put out there if you don't even know what the questions are? What answers are you going to contribute to your audience if you don't even know what their questions are? Does that make sense? So that's why you have to start putting yourself out there and grow along with your tribe. Okay, does that make sense? Comments, questions?
So while putting yourself out there, if a member was to ask a question and you're like, I don't know, because we're brand new and we're starting, what would you recommend or say to them in your process of learning? It's because you're learning, so how would you kind of deter that question to,
Well, and I would actually, first of all, somebody in your mastermind may have the answer. If you've now moved from a master class or an event over to a mastermind, someone in your mastermind may have the answer that person, and you can sit there and learn that and make a little note to explore that a little deeper once the call is over. So you could say, there's a topic I need to add, to this course or whatever it is you're creating, to this group, this mastermind. So you could add that, but there's nothing wrong with saying, you know, I've not explored that, but I definitely am going to, and we can have this on our next mastermind meetup where we can explore this in a little more detail. I'll have more information for you. Because the whole point of a mastermind is to bring everyone, including you, up to another level. Each time you have a mastermind, you want to elevate the entire group higher and higher and higher. That's the whole point of being in a mastermind, is that everyone kind of lifts everyone else up. All right, any other comments or questions? I want to show just a couple on mine on how I used Canva. I'm going to start with my website. When I scroll down my homepage, this is the Canva graphic right here. Can everyone see my screen? The only thing, and Sherry, maybe you can help me, on the graphic, I do not know how to make my little images clickable. Is there a way to make my images clickable here? Like if I could click on the strategy call or click on the free meetups, it would take me somewhere else. I haven't figured that out yet, so I'm still working on that.
That is something that's you need to talk with Michael about, because it cannot be a Canva image to make it clickable. You're going to have to embed an image like that and put text over top of the image and make the text clickable, I believe.
Okay. So anyway, this is a Canva one. It got me going. It got, you know, it shows the path. It shows the journey that I want my followers, my audience to follow. And then as I come down, all of these banners, if you will, on each one of my segments is all done in Canva. So these three were done in Canva. And as I come down, you can see the branding. These were done in Canva. So each of these are done in Canva in each one of my lanes. And you can see as I scroll down where I keep the branding going with the colors that go with that particular lane. And so you can see each one as I come down. Here's where we do the create a masterclass one. So then as I come down, I created this in Canva. This is my one-on-one coaching. And this is just a picture off of Canva. Again, you can, you know, they've got tons of pictures there. This was just a picture out of my photo gallery. I didn't put that one into Canva. We talked a couple of places about PLR. We won't get into that today, but PLR is where you can get ready-made content. And this came directly off of PLR. And so again, this was made in Canva. And so as you come down, you can see where I've used, this was made in Canva for my podcast, where Sherry was talking about, she used her graphic for her podcast cover. This is my podcast cover, and right on down. So you can see where I've used Canva a lot to get everything that I wanted in my website. So you can kind of see how it looks as you come down the website. And so from there, when I go over to my academy, I wanted it to kind of look the same. And so what I did, and bear with me here a minute, see if I can't get it to load. And so what I did is I wanted my academy and my website to match. So folks, have you ever tapped on a website and then you've gone to another page and you thought you lost it? You thought, where did I go? You want some branding and continuity. So when you scroll down my academy, you'll notice I use the exact same Canva headers, if you will, banners, if you will, on all of the courses. See, I wanted them to match my website. So you see how all of it matches exactly. Okay. So I just kind of wanted to show you that on how I'm using Canva. So what it does is it gives everything you're doing that branding. So, and then when I go over to Facebook, and Sherry, I don't know, do you have a Facebook group for what you're doing or no?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Out here. Okay. Well, let's see if it'll let me. It's not going to let me search. There it is. And so when I've finally decided to have a group for each one of my lanes, because somebody interested in real estate's not necessarily interested in, in writing from anywhere in the world. So you can see here is my shortcuts to my groups. Let me just get our stuff out of the way here. And you'll see here in my groups, you'll see what I did is over here on the left. Can everybody see over the left? I used the same graphics. See, the same graphics that I've used across my website. I've used the same graphics. And so when you click on any of the groups, see, it's the same graphic here that I actually used on the website and on my academy. So everything has that continuity, and that's my whole point. And then in my meetup, I have my meetup groups. And again, I'm using the same graphics in my meetups. And so if somebody goes to Meetup or Facebook or my academy or my website, it all is the same graphic across the top of all those. Does that make sense? All right, questions, comments. Are we ready to start putting ourselves out there a little bit? Yes, maybe, no?
Maybe. Speaking is nervous, like a nerve-wracking thing.
So what are you thinking, Shanti? Give me some ideas on what is it that you want to launch, and where are you at currently?
So right now, I'm just getting everything out of my mind onto paper.
Okay.
I'm thinking that I would love to do something like a membership. However, I really don't enjoy speaking, but I want to get better at it so that I can, bring some people in, because that will be my way of advertising.
Okay.
Well, maybe with the blog first. Yeah, I think I might go the blog route first, and then somewhere in between that, do something with speaking to get my audience knowing, liking, and trusting me, I think, a bit more, because I don't really know how to do that through writing just yet, like what my voice is through writing.
Okay, let me ask you this. What is your overarching problem that you want to solve for your audience?
I think let's see. I want to help people live life their way, so that they can have a fulfilling and peaceful lifestyle. That might be confusing. I want to teach people to be able to have a peaceful and fulfilling lifestyle. And I want to be able to do that almost through like mentorship or something.
Okay.
So whichever things that I know that I've experienced that have helped me, I want to be able to help people to have that same experience.
Okay, now do you have a specific segment of population on a particular problem that you want to help them overcome? For example, I'm all about passive income. And so when anyone connects with me, they know that I'm going to try to help them create some sort of passive income or something that they love, to take their passion, turn it into purpose, and then to actually turn it into profit so that they can do what they love. At the end of the day, it's their way they want to live, their freestyle living, whatever that means for them. Some folks like Mark, he dearly loves working on airplanes. So to tell him he needs to stop working on airplanes to be happy would confuse him, because he's like, that's what makes me happy. So at that point, see, I want to work with where that person wants to be. So with you, your VPS, your value proposition statement, your promise to your audience, which is what I had just asked you for, is a little vague. Because if I were your audience, I would say, is she going to help me make more money? Is she going to help me overcome, low self-esteem? Is she going to help me write a book? What is she going to help me do? And so again, and just as an example, I'm gonna show you this. When you go to my website, my VPS is right here, teaching you how to be healthy and how to create passive income, coaching you how to get there faster, design your path so that you can experience freestyle living. See, so I tell them where I'm going to take them, where they are now, and where I'm going to take them to. So I'm going to teach them how to be healthy and how to create passive income. So the first sentence, people are going to say, yes, I do need to get more healthy. I've been thinking about that. And wouldn't it be nice if I didn't have to get up every day and punch a time clock? So yeah, I'm interested in how she's going to teach me how to be more healthy and how to create passive income. And then I'm going to coach them how to get there faster. And they're going to say, oh yeah, I'm connecting with her because I don't want to wait 10 years, to get there. So yeah, I do want to get there faster. And then I'm going to help them design their path so that they can experience freestyle living. It's whatever freestyle living means to them. And so I'm telling them, here's where you are, and here's where I'm going to take you. Does that make sense? And so when you're thinking about what products or services you want to bring to your audience, think about, where is my audience now and where am I going to take them? What are they going to look like when they're finished working with me? Does that make sense? Sherry, tell us your VPS on where your audience is now and where you're going to take them.
So I put my vision statement and my mission statement in the chat.
There you go.
But basically, I am providing awareness, education, and really doing a mindset shift for people with understanding what dysgraphia is and how to identify it in the classroom before it gets diagnosed. The dysgraphia is a disability in written expression. So anything that you write down from the time that you're first learning how to write a letter through writing a dissertation or anything that we're talking about today.
So you can see where with Sherry, every parent and every teacher is going to say, what? I need that. See, they're going to identify with that. Her tribe is going to find her because she has made it very clear what journey she's taking her audience on. And so her tribe is going to find her. Okay. If you want to learn how to quilt, you notice every quilting site out there. But if you're not interested in quilting, you don't even notice the quilting advertising because you're not interested in quilting. And so that's where your tribe will find you. So folks that are in her audience will find her. So you have to make it clear what your journey is so that your audience can find you, so that your tribe can find you. You have to make it clear what that journey is.
Shanti, I also want to add that you want to be clear about who your audience is. So you said the word people. People is 7 million. Okay. Are you talking 18 to 25-year-olds? Are you talking 18 to 65? Are you talking 65 and older? Are you talking men? Are you talking women? Are you talking mothers that are single moms like Kathy was when she was younger? Or are you talking moms with no children, moms with twins, professionals that have never been married? Like narrow down that avatar so that you have a specific audience. So my audience, Kathy mentioned, teachers and parents. But if we want to break it down even further, my primary audience is kindergarten, first and second grade teachers and occupational therapists and parents of whether they're working or have a child that are targeting that age group of children. Does that make sense?
Completely.
Okay.
Now,
so tell me your who.
My who can only be people that I can relate to, which would be women that would be between 25 and 40.
Okay.
I can probably condense that a bit more, but I have experience from 25 touching 40.
Which is a totally different dynamic than people. See where I went there? Okay.
Yes.
I help women who are 25 to 40 years old, and I would still take women down even closer. So when I was developing my niche and I was really targeting the dysgraphia, I really got to the point where I could not go any further down the chain. You know, what else, what part, how can we take dysgraphia apart? There isn't much way to take it apart. So I actually started with this niche that was very specific to start with. And I realized from there that I had to really target that K-2 right now. I do want to also work on the rest of the areas of dysgraphia, but right now my target is K-2.
Now, I'm going to give a little bit of a different twist on that because, again, remember I say all the time that your tribe will find you. So I started off marketing to an earlier version of me because that's what I knew best. You know, the single mom working 2 minimum wage jobs, had a car that didn't run. And I'm talking about, oh my gosh, you need some passive income. And these are the gals that need it the most, can afford it the least. And so when I put together my programs, I was target marketing that group, that kind of not necessarily low income, but you're right at that cusp where you don't have extra income. So you can't get the newer car. You can't really pay for all the extra babysitters so that you can go to college. You don't have the tuition money. You know, for whatever reason, you just kind of fall through the cracks. You don't get any kind of government aid because you make too much for that, but you're not making enough to really make a go of it. And so life is a constant struggle. And that's kind of where my target market was. Well, as I started building out my products and services, guess what other market found me? And I wasn't targeting this market, but all of a sudden I started noticing that a lot of my audience was at the other end of that spectrum. And they were folks that were retiring, that were getting out of working those corporate jobs. They were finally, you know, in their early 60s and they were starting to retire. And they thought, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? How am I going to make this little bit of savings that I've managed to put back over 30 years of working? How am I going to make that sustain me throughout my entire retirement? And I noticed those folks started tapping in to my calls and to all of my masterminds. And so I ended up with two very target audiences. One is that young family that's struggling financially, and it's that retirement person that wants to make sure they have enough retirement that they can live the life finally that they want to live. And so that's why, and again, that second audience kind of just found me. And that's why I went back and I did not put in women, men, age groups. I just put, I am teaching you how to be healthy and how to create passive income, coaching you how to get there faster, to design your path so that you can experience freestyle living. And that VPS kind of attracts whoever is in that mindset. And so I'm targeting more of a mindset than an age category, if that makes sense, or a particular professional category like teachers or parents of certain age students like Sherry is. So mine is a little different. So again, I know that kind of muddies the water, but you have to start so that your audience can find you. And you will get better at your target market. The more you go down that path yourself, you'll start to see what audience is finding you. I did want to go back and I saw Elise's. Now let's see if I can find hers again. She put hers in there and I'm scrolling through. Scrolling. Where is Elise? Elise, I know you put yours in there, your VPS.
It's right above my, right by where I say great Elise.
Yep. It says, my name is Elise and I am your virtual assistant expert. I help professionals enjoy free time by allowing them to spend less time tasked and get back to what truly matters. So maybe less time doing their tasks. So again, you see where she, again, is the virtual assistant expert. So she's got several words in there. Virtual, meaning she can do it from anywhere. So the person, her audience doesn't have to say, well, she in my town? Can I use her? Yeah, she's virtual, so anyone can use her. She's an assistant. The word assistant has all kinds of great meaning when you're a busy professional. And expert, she said she's the expert. So right away they go, ooh, virtual assistant expert, I need her. And then she's helping professionals enjoy free time. Well, how many of us are like, oh, I got so much to do. I wish I had some free time. And so you see where her VPS, her tribe will automatically gravitate toward her with her VPS. That's her promise to her audience. Now, your VPS isn't carved in stone. You'll tweak it as you go, as your audience finds you. Yeah. So once you kind of determine, that avatar on who it is that you're going to serve, now what journey are you going to take them on? Where are they now? Where are they going to be when they're finished working with you? See, mine are having questions about finances, and they're going to be able to live a freestyle life after they work with me. So that's the journey I'm going to take them on. Then the rest of my products and services are the steps on how I'm going to get them there. And so I could put together, like Sherry, I could put together a 5-day challenge and help folks get there faster. You see where everything now is how to move the needle for your audience, how to make their life better, how for them to move closer to their goal.
So one way to think about a 5-day challenge is if you had a framework that had 5 sections to it, each day could be a touch point in your message for each one of those pieces in the framework. Does that make sense, Shanti?
Okay, can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, I thought that might need a repeat. So if you had a framework that you were five points that you work on with these people, if that's an if, take this and shift it to what it works for you. Each one of the days in the 5-day challenge is a one topic inside those topics. So for me, in my 5-day challenge, mine was an introduction to neuroscience, an introduction to visual perception. And I know these topics are not going to make sense to you. Introduction to visual motor, introduction to visual memory, and then an introduction to my big piece of my framework. So the day 5 is kind of this culmination and getting you into the next level. But if you had this 5-day framework, kind of like Kathy, she has the different lanes, she calls them, where she could do a 5-day challenge that is talking about healthy living, real estate, building a better business, and blogging and building a better business. And so each one of the days in her 5-day challenge could be targeting a little bit piece of that, pulling that focus to freestyle living.
Now, I would actually break it down one more level. I would actually take a lane, for example, like the real estate, which was my example before, and I do the six steps, the finding, the funding, the fixing, the flipping, the filling, and then finally, what is your freedom? Well, because there's 6 and the 6th one is freedom, I could use the freedom one as an overarching goal on all, and there would be my 5-day challenge. Is how, I could say, I'm going to do a 5-day challenge and I'm going to show you how to find it, how to fund it, how to fix it, how to flip it, and how to fill it. And at the end of the day, you're going to have freedom. And I can see a lot of real estate investors, newbies that have never invested before, going, I am taking that challenge because those are the exact 5 things I want to learn. And I could concentrate on one of those topics each day of that 5-day challenge. And then at the end, offer for them to be in my paid membership mastermind. And that's how I would monetize that challenge.
I see you smiling. Where's your brain going there, Shanti? Tell us.
So now I am a part of the mastermind. By the time it's time for us to log into the mastermind, I can see my VPS coming together, a bit more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
So again, the framework is important because again, and I don't have all of the statistics on this, but folks that join masterminds, challenges, master classes, whatever it is that you're going to put out there, folks that join those want to see a step-by-step process. If you just say, we're going to talk about real estate, come on into this 5-day challenge, people are going to be like, what are they going to talk about? But if I put out there that we're going to go through the 5 steps of finding, funding, fixing, flipping, filling, that's what's going to get people's attention, because they're going to go, yeah, I'm really interested in the funding piece, or I'm really interested in the flipping piece. And so that's going to get them to sign up because they know exactly what to expect. And so that's kind of where we're taking you, is what product, what end result, or what journey are you taking your audience on? And then what are the steps? What are the, and 5 is the magic number. We've talked about that a lot. 5 is the magic number, because once somebody has been with you for 5 sessions, they don't want it to end, and they want to hang in there. So that's a perfect place then to offer an ongoing mastermind or membership site or community, like Sherry's got her community, because you're building those relationships. And they start to get to know, like, and trust you by the time they get through 5 sessions with you. They're like, this person really has my interest at heart. So I definitely want to stay connected here. And so that's where folks then really want to connect in with you. So your social media post is just to kind of advertise and let folks know that you're there, that, you got to start putting yourself out there. But you have to have a clearer vision on the back end on what it is you're going to bring to your audience. And then just know that you will adjust that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just know that over time you'll adjust. Like, as I started doing the Build a Better Business, people started saying, I want to learn more about blogging. I want to get down in the weeds a little more with the blogging. And it doesn't go as in depth by just hitting it once a month in the Build a Better Business. So I started a whole blogging lane, because that came out of my original Build a Better Business. Folks said, I want to know more about the blogging piece. So that came a whole separate lane. And I'm just now playing around with one, and Sherry is going to appreciate this one. I am just now playing around with one on how to tell the difference between being an entrepreneur and just wanting to be self-employed. There is a difference. And so that is a whole lane that I'm just
for you, Kathy.
Yeah. Yep. I'm using in that one, I'm using the Entrepreneurial Leap by Gene Wickman.
Yes. Yeah. That one, this is one I found after Entrepreneurial Leap just recently. Okay. It's a good bump off from that one.
Okay.
And this is another one.
Good to know. Nope, good to know. So anyway, I'm just now putting that course together, because that, again, I have a lot of folks that are like, I don't know if I really want to create this whole entrepreneurial thing. Wonder if it's, I don't know how, I don't know where, I'm just not into that. But boy, I'm hating punching the time clock. I want to do my own thing. And there are a ton of folks that are in the trades that really need some help to build a better business, but they don't want to be entrepreneurial and create some big movement. They just want a nice paycheck that they control their hours, like the plumber or the electrician. They can make $100,000 a year just doing their trade, and they can be self-employed, and they can create their own schedule, and they can do all that stuff that they want to do without creating a worldwide movement, And so some folks just want to do that, but then some folks really have a message that they want to bring to the world. And then in that spectrum, there's everyone in between. And so this new course that I'm contemplating will it'll have a way to test and measure yourself, so that you know where you are on that spectrum, so that you can be happy. And again, and you see where that goes right in line with Freestyle Living, because I am now 5 years into my academy, realizing that and of course I've known this all along, but realizing that there are folks that don't want to be entrepreneurial that still want to have a freestyle life. Mm-hmm. And so now they're saying, well, how do I fit in? Because I'm not fitting the mold of having some message, that I want to get out to the world. And so where do I fit on that spectrum? And so that's where I'm seeing a need. And again, I didn't start with this lane, but I see myself moving into that lane because it's an important lane in my academy. It's a very important lane. Does that make sense? So that's where I'm adding stuff, because I'm now hearing the questions my audience has. See, I didn't know the answers because I didn't know the questions. And so now that more of my audience is bringing those questions to me, I realize that now I can arrive at some answers to help them.
So Shantae, let's hear where your VPS is moving towards. You don't have, obviously you don't have it refined, but what are some of the thoughts that have been generated by our conversation?
Helping.
Go with your gut. Go with your gut. What are you feeling? Who
I
is it?
help.
Okay.
Just
I
complete.
help.
Mhm.
I help
Women who
I don't know
are
if I should say their age. Okay. I help women who are
25 to 40,
25 to 40.
because that's what you said before.
And you
I
can
help
adjust that
them.
over time.
Okay. I help women who are 25 to 40 transition from chaotic life to a peaceful life through self-care.
Okay, so is self-care the deliverable? Is that your message? Is that you want to bring self-care to the forefront? Is that your overarching message?
Yes, it's going to be the self-care techniques that helps you to get from chaos to peace.
Okay, so now we're
Say that again.
It's going to be the self-care that helps get you from chaos to peace.
self-care. She used the word techniques earlier, the self-care techniques.
Yes, sorry.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I help women who are struggling with finding time for self-care
I like that.
by showing them a 5-step process to change their life from chaos to peace.
Yes.
I like that, and that's doable.
Now, you see what we did is we all of a sudden gave you a product. So
You
now
did.
you know that you need to put together a 5-step product to achieve lasting self-care.
And I can do that. So by
So-
product, could a product be an ebook?
Oh, again, your product is going to be your system. Where you're going to take your audience is you don't have any self-care or very little self-care now. You feel like the world's crushing in on you. And I'm going to show you how at the other end of my program, you're going to have peace. You're going to find peacefulness in all of these systems. So your product is going to be your process, your system, what steps you're going to take them on. That's going to be your actual product. Now, how you deliver that product could be through a 5-day challenge. It could be through a masterclass. It could be through a mastermind. It could be a course that you've written. It could be, you can deliver that product 1,000,001 different ways. So then once you list all the ways that you can deliver that product, those 5 steps, once you find how you want to deliver that product, now you get to decide which offers do I want to offer for free at the top of my funnel, and which ones do I want them to pay for to monetize my passion of helping women go from chaos to peaceful self-care. And so that's going to be a work in progress on which ones what products or what offers you want to put together so that you can deliver your product.
That was clear. Thank you.
Okay. Because see, my product is how to have passive income. And then I can deliver that in these free meetups. I can deliver that in courses I've written. I can deliver that in my mastermind membership. And what it is my website actually becomes my funnel, and Sherry's is the same way. So as you come down my website, see, you can get a complimentary strategy call, have a casual chat with Kathy, to a free meetup, join as many as you would like, to courses, learn everything from health to wealth, from Masterminds, be a part of the membership community. You see here, once I left the free meetups, I started monetizing it. They can buy a course, they can join a membership site, to one-on-one coaching to help you get there faster, to where they finally can actually celebrate with us with an actual Freestyle Living tribe trip. And so that makes them all a part of the tribe. And this is how they're designing their path to Freestyle Living. So you see where I took them on the journey. And so you're going to start a journey on, on the 5 steps to get from chaos to peacefulness in self-care. But now you have to decide, how am I going to deliver that journey? Am I going to have free meetups? Am I going to have courses? Am I going to have masterminds, membership sites? Am I going to do one-on-one coaching? You might love some women love the one-on-one coaching, and some go, no, I'd rather facilitate a mastermind. I prefer to do that over the one-on-one. So it's whatever your sweet spot is going to be your highest ticket item. Whatever it is, and you'll grow into that. You may not even know what your sweet spot is right now. So once you determine that's the path, that's the journey, now when you, and I'm going to scroll down past it, this is all, this is the free meetup, the course, the mastermind. Once you get past all of that, and the one-on-one coaching, I think I already passed it. There's the one-on-one coaching right there. Once you get past that, now everything, and past the tribe trip, once you get past all of that, now everything turns into marketing. How am I going to let people know that I have the free meetups, the courses, the masterminds, the tribe trips? How am I going to let everybody know that? So here's how you let them know. Once you get past that, now you're going to write ebooks. You're going to maybe publish some books about your message. From there, you could have a calendar with everything to let them know what's going on. You could have a podcast pointing back to all of your products and services. You could have a blog pointing back to all of your products and services. See, this is how you're going to advertise it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. Thank you for that. That was awesome, Kathy.
And Kathy does this inside her groups and her masterminds all the time. So suggest that you She joined. She's already jumped. Yeah, she's already jumped in. As a matter of fact, it's on my list today to actually add her second mastermind, because she gets 2 for the price of 1. So she joined 1, and I get to add her second one in today, so she can join in those masterminds. So Elise, is she part of any of your masterminds?
Yes. Elise is in the Happy House Hunters mastermind. She also is in the Build a Better Business and the blog. She's actually joined 3.
Okay.
So Elise, any comments? I know you're listening and off in the wings there. Any comments or questions from you? Let's see if there's anything from Elise. Yep, no. She said she was listening in today, so not sure if she can participate at the moment. So it sounds like she's in the middle of something else. So anyway, any other comments before we go today? This has been good. We ran over a little bit, but
I'm glad that I was able to help Shantae.
This has been great.
That was not something I do on a day-to-day basis, but something I really enjoy doing as one of the ways of giving back to my community, is helping people with creating those statements, because it was very hard to create mine.
Yes. Yeah. Once you get a clearer, and again, that's why action comes first, clarity comes second. And so once you start taking action, you'll get more clear on what you want to deliver to your audience. And the more clear you get, the more your audience and your tribe will find you. Okay, Elise said it would not let me text. Sorry, great topic today. Elise, I'm looking to see there. Elise, you can actually chat if you want. You can just take off your, there you go.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, it was kicking me off. It was not letting me text. Well, thank you. It was a wonderful conversation today. I thought that it was a lot of good information on finding your tribe. And it truly is finding action and just going after it and putting yourself out there, which is hard enough for a lot of us because you're like, well, I want to make sure that my clients and my tribe and those who are following me are getting the message in the way that I want to get it, or I want to give it to them. But the reality is, action brings clarity, and those who are part of your tribe will find you, as Kathy says, but they'll also let you know what they're needing and how you can kind of pivot to make sure that you're fulfilling their needs as well as staying true to your original purpose. So I just encourage you to find that balance and understand that we're all struggling with it, because I probably have 15 or 20 pieces of content sitting in the barrel waiting to, get put in the gun to fire. But, I don't know if I feel like that's the content that I want to put out there when I just need to go ahead and do it. So great content today. Great job today. You're doing great on your VPS. I know that's hard because it was hard for me. Mine was about 20 pages long, and Kathy was like, no, you need to cut that. Nobody's going to listen to it. So it's the honesty factor. It's okay to feel like that and just keep going back and keep changing, because that's the whole point of business, is to grow and just make it more fluid. So great content today. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, and even for me, when they call your VPS, your elevator speech, your 30-second commercial, it's called all different things. And so think about it this way: you step into an elevator with someone and you're going up to the next floor, and the person goes, now you're at a conference or whatever, and so you meet this person in the elevator and they go, well, now what is it that you do? You've got to be able to tell them before that elevator door opens. Okay, so you can't fish around in your pocket for your paper that's got, your 20 pages of VPS on it on what you do. And so sometimes it's just a sentence, and the whole purpose of your VPS when you're out and about and networking is that somebody wants to connect more with you because of what you just said. And so for me, oftentimes and it depends on the environment. If I'm in a real estate group, your VPS can change depending on the group. If I'm in a real estate group, I might say, I help you invest and create passive income with all your real estate investments. That could be my VPS. If I'm in a group of cosmetologists, I might say, I can show you how to make your whole cosmetology salon passive. And they might go, oh, I need to talk to you. So anyway, it depends on the audience that you're in. But if I'm just in a general audience and it's a little bit of everyone in that audience, I might say something like, oh, I teach you how to have passive income and you don't have to punch a time clock anymore. And folks are like, oh, everybody wants passive. I don't have to punch a time clock. Where can I talk with you when this seminar is over? Because I want to know more about that. And so it just depends on the audience you're in, but you have to be able to it has to come from your core. It's who you are. It's who you become. And so no matter who I'm talking to, I want to show them how to take their passion and turn it into purpose, and turn that purpose into profit. So at the end of the day, yeah. So at the end of the day, that's what I want to do, no matter who I'm talking to. Does that make sense? So don't feel like you have to have this crafted, perfect sentence or whatever. You're going to craft one on your website, like I have. But when you're out talking with people, it has to be who you are. What it is that you do is who you are. All right. With that, I think we're going to go. I think this has been a great conversation today. I will upload this recording into the free Build a Better Business meetup in the Academy. You can get to that through my website, kathybinner.com. If you are already a member of the Academy, you can just sign in with the email and password that you've created when you join the Academy, and it will take you right to the free meetups, and you can click through and listen to any replay. So all the replays are there. So with that, we are going to end the call today. And so bear with me here while we stop the recording. And everyone, join us again next month. It will be the second Friday of every month is our free Build a Better Business. So we will see you next month.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, great content. Thank you.